Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Nat Brogadir on the line, and he is Chief Business Officer over at Deliveroo.com. Nat, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam. Thanks for having me.
So excited to get into today's topic. Competition is fierce in your space, but before, and what does it look like to handle it? But before we get into that, let's get a little bit further into what you're doing over at Deliveroo.com. So first, tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, sure. Deliveroo.com, it's been around for over 10 years. We're a two-sided marketplace connecting consumers and businesses with their local merchants or local businesses to order food, alcohol, dry cleaning and laundry, as well as groceries. So we're a multi-vertical marketplace.
Any kind of trends you're noticing in your industry, just in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think, DoorDash confidentially filed per their PO, I think, last week. Uber Eats is now a big public company. Postmates, obviously Seamless Web and Grubhub. A couple of years ago, we really didn't bump into a lot of folks in the market, and I think given the venture the wave of venture capital that are investing in marketplaces like food on demand space, we're seeing kind of an influx of competition, and some of these competitors have been getting scale pretty fast. So I think that's the biggest difference between now and a couple of years ago.
No, I completely get it. And so, I mean, so let's talk a little bit more about competition. So what does it look like? Like, how do you handle that? Tell us a little bit more about let's say, the mechanics of the food on delivery space. Yeah,
it's a great question. I think, we're seeing it in two different places. So with the two-sided marketplace, you're constantly trying to acquire and retain users and customers. And then our business model, which is fairly similar to the other competitors, is typically charging a fee or take rate to the restaurant or merchant or liquor store. And I think, given competition, you're kind of seeing a two-sided dynamic. One is, other marketplaces, like some of the peers I mentioned, are charging, not so profitable or very aggressive take rates to restaurants. And that's a money-losing initiative as far as, hey, if I'm going to deliver a salad across town in New York City, if you're DoorDash or Postmates or somebody, you have to pay the driver, you have to pick up the food. So the fact that they're, now take rates are going down into the, mid-teens or low teens or even single-digit percentage. I mean, that's a tough arena to play in. The other dynamic is just acquiring users, and I think, all of the marketplaces have been more and more creative and competitive on how to acquire users, but also, as the CEO of Grubhub said on an earnings call, consumers are being promiscuous with marketplaces, I think was the quote he gave. Which, you kind of have to snicker at, but also, it's not totally disingenuous, and it's pretty true in a sense of, if you want your favorite salad from Sweet Greens or your favorite, Mexican from Dos Toros, do you, as a consumer, do you really care if it comes from Deliveroo.com or Seamless Web or Postmates? I think you just kind of want that food at that time. So we're kind of seeing a two-sided dynamic with competition.
I love that. You said that being a little bit promiscuous with what apps they use. I mean, it's kind of like Uber versus Lyft, right? I'm going to do whichever one is probably the closest or has the best price of time. So I can totally see that happening. Totally. But in the case of like food, to me, it's like there's just so many restaurants, so many different things. It seems like there's the space itself. There's just room for the competition. And it does become that whole user acquisition and user experience and the interface and all of that. Let's talk about the client journey journey on Delivery.com and how people use it for those that haven't used it yet.
Yeah, so with Delivery.com, I mean, what's really exciting about our platform is the multi-vertical offering. We've been around and kind of pioneered some of the rewards or loyalty points program. So, we have these power users that have been accumulating, Delivery.com points. The more they spend, the more they save, or you can redeem those points for rewards like iPads or things of that nature. That's a really unique value prop to have the multi-vertical offering. We've also seen some corporate focused or B2B focused competitors pop up that are offering like catering for offices. And I think one thing that's really unique about Delivery.com is we started off as a B2C marketplace, and now B2B is becoming a bigger piece of our pie as we feed offices and corporations and whatnot. But also the style of the office. I mean, I come from the banking world where if you stayed after a certain hour in the office, you could potentially unlock a subsidy paid for by the company, so you get kind of dinner on the house. Seamless was kind of the only game in town doing that for a while in New York. Now there's all sorts of companies doing catering for the office, and some companies are trying to do group ordering where you could text message or email a link to an order, and that participants can join your order. I think with Delivery.com, we're one of the few marketplaces that can offer all those different styles, whether it's the late night subsidy order, the catering order, or the informal impromptu kind of group order, and that's a really that functionality is pretty unique. And then of course, for that person that wants the tacos but wants a 6-pack of beer to go with it, we're one of the few marketplaces you can kind of accomplish both those things. So, for me, the consumer journey is really twofold. For B2C consumers, it's about multi-vertical and convenience, and on the B2B, on the corporate spending, it's really about the different functionalities as well as some of the other tools we're giving office managers and admins, which is, if you need to be invoiced, or a lot of law firms need to be able to bill back to the client. We've developed cost centers. So, I think those are really important features that we're kind of leaning in on.
Oh man, that's awesome. So Nat, if somebody's listening to this and they want more info on Delivery.com, either as a merchant or obviously as a consumer, what are the best ways for them to get info?
Yeah, I mean, Delivery.com, obviously the website's a great source for info, or certainly can reach out to me directly at first initial last name and Brogadir at Delivery.com.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Nat, great having you on the show today and catching more on what you're doing over at Delivery.com and how you're competing and just the overall marketplace, because I know I use the services definitely and love to see what's going on. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. Nat, thanks again for coming on the show.